want to give you a break. Josh, I have some domestic questions I want you to take.
Okay.
You want to do that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you resolve for us the situation of the student loans? Yesterday on the Senate floor, there was an attempt by Republicans to offer what they described as the president's specific proposal in the budget on extending the student loan issue that was objected to. Republicans are raising their minds a legitimate question is why wouldn't the president's own plan be embraced by Senate Democrats? Where are we on this, and what accounts for this apparent strategic confusion among Democrats on the president's plan?
Well, I know that there are a range of discussions that are ongoing between the administration and people on both sides of the aisle, particularly in the Senate, to try to broker an agreement here that will prevent student loan rates from doubling at the end of this month. So there are a number of conversations that are ongoing. I don't know that I can, that I'm the best person to try to figure out the legislative machinations in terms of the steps that are being negotiated in the Senate. But we've laid out what we think is a pretty clear set of principles for how we can solve this problem and do it in a way that frankly should have appeal to both sides, to people on both sides of the aisle.
Are you now at the point where not having the president's own plan put on the floor is better?
No, I don't think so. I think we'd be happy to see our plan passed. The question is if there are people who actually have to vote on that plan, have their own ideas. And we are willing to have conversations with them to try to broker an agreement that would reflect the interests of Republicans, Democrats, and the administration. So we have our own plan. We like our plan. But if there are other people that have their own ideas, we've laid out some principles that we would like to see. For instance, we want to make sure that students have an opportunity when they're repaying their loans to be able to work through an agreement that would limit their payments to 10% of their disposable income, for example. That there are provisions that would limit the increase of the interest rate over time. For example, we've talked about locking in the historically low rates. So there are some principles that we've put forward, but we're open to negotiations.
Quite clearly, you understand there's a time element here, and the Senate has to pass something to get this to conference.
Yeah, there's an urgent time element. We're talking about a couple of weeks here.
Okay, so what's your instruction specifically to the Senate Democratic leadership that's theoretically working with you on this? Pass the president's plan or get about something that's an alternative?
Well, we would like to see something move through the Senate that abides by some of the principles that we've laid out. Our plan does that, obviously, but there may be some other suggestions, and we're open to some other ideas.
Ben, if you come back on it.